The Quality Team of the Year award is awarded to a team of quality professionals who, considering the context within which their organisation operates, has contributed most in the areas of governance, assurance, improvement and leadership. ACCIONA is a global leader in renewable energy and infrastructure solutions. With a commitment to economic, environmental and social progress, ACCIONA actively drives the transition towards a low-carbon economy and is dedicated to contributing to a sustainable future in Australia and New Zealand. Charlie Versey, judge of the Quality Team of the Year category, said, "It was clear from their initial submission that the ACCIONA team had a very clear understanding of the key response areas. They supported their position with clear performance metrics, which in many cases outlined a significant positive impact on the projects and businesses." What sets them apart? Context. Confronting their challenges to make a quality difference.
ACCIONA had a limited presence in Australia and New Zealand until the purchase of one of the largest Australia's infrastructure companies in 2020. We formed a new business, a business that did not have the people, the systems or the processes in quality to navigate the transition and integration, particularly a business that was now made from many parts in one of the world's toughest industries, with sectors in construction, rail, mechanical and electrical, geotech engineering and precast, having work that varied in scale from the millions to the billions. Nobody knew how this was going to work. There was a different business strategy. Many robust and challenging conversations were had. No longer would ways of the past be the answer. We needed to be more efficient, effective, productive and profitable, project-centric. We had less than ever before, however, more scope, increased scale and less resources. What we did have, though, was the opportunity to make this different. We had to change our mindset and figure out how we could make this work. This got us thinking creatively, not bad for engineers. We needed to redefine quality, how we worked, and how quality is perceived. This required a strategic focus on developing our team and the quality business model. We invested in our understanding of our customers' needs. We removed the silos and restructured to form one team supporting all our projects across Australia and New Zealand for all of our businesses. Also a strategic focus for how we could grow and influence for better quality outcomes. We made the choice to explore alternative ways of working, drawing on our strengths and respect for those that we work with. This allowed us to have unity, a common cause, and to use the resources that we had more effectively. Fundamental to this cultural and operational change was ensuring our quality management practices were suitable to support our people and our business. We consulted and collaborated to understand before acting. Together, we've developed consistent ways of working, which are generating wide-ranging benefits for all. As we evolve with this change, our quality community has responded. In our organisation and our industry, we're setting ourselves apart. We still deal with the complexity and the challenges that being in quality serves us. However, we know that we're heading down an exciting path. It is from this context that we chose to write our own story rather than allowing our story to own us.
Changing industry mindset.
Civil construction historically has a culture of poor quality and extensive rework costs in Australia and New Zealand. Our requirements are not traditionally black and white. They're open to individuals' interpretation, and quality needs to navigate through all these different grey waters. Each project and region has specific contractual and technical requirements, and with different quality cultures and levels of acceptance. Added to this, we have many contractual models, including alliances, joint ventures, that add layers of complexity, as many of these entities are trying to jostle to be heard. This provides multiple challenges across consistency, our quality culture, engagement of our staff across New Zealand and Australian regions. It's within this landscape that our small quality corporate team recognised that our time was critical. We just couldn't fight every fire. We had to concentrate on our focus in the key areas, and hence we developed our risk-based management approach. And we adopted this to customise for mine and Jamie's surveillance. We needed to go when we needed the most. Our starting point was to create a brand of redefining quality. This set the tone for transformation that was to come, redefining and redesigning to get a different outcome from the traditional tick and flick paperwork compliance that you usually get. This is where we find ourselves today, and we believe the business likes it.
Estelle Clark, Chief Judge of the International Quality Awards 2023, said, "This team has made remarkable progress in creating a new style of QMS, which is challenging and changing the traditional culture in the construction business. Governance, creating scalable environments.
As a corporate team, it's a given that our governance role is to maintain certification to ISO 9001, mainly through supporting accreditation audits and providing guidance to senior management. We're able to do that with our eyes closed, as with most of our peers. But what we really wanted to do to redefine quality in the governance space was to ensure that our approach to our quality management system not just extended to top management, but also connected us both to them, to our projects, and just as importantly, to our clients. To do that, we needed a system that provided consistent, considered, and measurable results. We needed something that was scalable, given the vast range of projects and work that we do, from the small $2 million piling jobs through to the multi-billion-dollar tunnel mega projects. So redefining quality would mean rebuilding our quality management system. And we wanted to make sure we were doing this in the right way. So first off, this meant a detailed audit regime of all of our existing quality procedures and projects to see what we were doing well and not so well, and what we were or were not compliant in. You can see the numbers involved with this exercise on the slide right there. And honestly, balancing these findings was a real challenge. We found ourselves often torn between the old school black and white compliance side of quality, which was rooted within the projects, contrasted with the grey, a more practical, progressive and engaging risk-based approach, which lends itself much better to infrastructure construction. I mean, risk-based thinking's been around since the ISO standard got updated back in 2015, but our industry was still very much operating in the old ways. Again, which is ironic considering that if ever there was an industry whose scope needed to be more risk-based, it's ours. In practice, the completely new system we generated in this image formed the very first ACCIONA ways of working, something which is now being undertaken across the business in all of our other functions.
Generating more time for improvement.
We really wanted our ways of working to generate more time to improve. So less time on the mundane and the repetitive, like those activities that require collecting information and generating reporting. We wanted the focus to be on the analysis and the understanding, generating support from our top management and giving our clients transparency. It was our development of I2CX and digitising our practices and our ways of working that really provided a foundation for this. Other than sustainably digitising our governance processes, our development work in I2CX has allowed additional levels of independent verification, standardisation, consistency of processes, synchronisation of quality information, all while ensuring that there's a really robust and clean data source available. It offers a level of transparency which allows us to build trusting and collaborative relationships. From our perspective, this data allows us at our level to generate automated reports with limited input from our stakeholders. The reporting that is generated is communicated to our projects, our top management, and it allows consistent monitoring across all of our businesses. It gives us the same expectations on all projects, irrespective of their size or complexity. The automation of the reporting has allowed an in-depth analysis of our data, and we haven't been able to see this previously. So now with this time that we can save, we are able to transition our leaders and also ourselves from talking about descriptive analytics to diagnostic analytics and truly getting to the root cause of our issues to a level that we haven't seen in our industry within Australia and New Zealand. So through this diagnostic analytics, we're now able to see the impact of an engineer leaving a project and not being replaced. We are able to quantify it and we are able to provide evidence of this impact. But most importantly, we're able to have informed discussions about this. It's allowing us to feedback quickly within the continual improvement cycle.
Assurance, creating certainty with sustainable risk prevention.
We need to build confidence in our team for good results and the client satisfaction. We understood that uncertainty nearly always does not bring confidence. From the assurance perspective, we do this from the structure involvement and again, our risk-based process. We've developed long-standing relationships, myself and Jamie, to the point we're now requested to visit these projects. We don't have to force our way in. If we adopt our risk profiles and simply follow our project lifestyle, we can start at the tenders and design phase. We make sure we've got the right design, the right materials. We then perform the technical review at the award. We identify those key risk areas, and then we assist directly with the high-risk items for the delivery team. We witness and support these high-risk construction items, and then we perform investigations if errors occur, and then we transfer that knowledge back to the team and the business so we don't keep making the same mistakes. This gives the client confidence. A good example we had with this was our international concept of intelligent compaction. It was implemented by our QA team. We've had multiple instances of failed roads by insufficient compaction. We identified the high costs of NCR through the reporting. We have major shortages of skilled operators, both within the business and the industry. So we use the machine technology to ensure the compaction is achieved and we have full coverage. We now include this in the tenders phase, so it's accepted automatically by the client and it's budgeted for. The client then has the confidence in the end product and has the advantage of substantial sustainability benefits. It has reduced rework, we've got extensive savings in diesel and man hours, eliminates the legacy defects for years to come, and ACCIONA, we're recognised as Australia's leaders in the IC industry. So this life cycle of assurance, utilising our risk-based approach, mine and Jamie's technical capabilities provide the support to those project team and the confidence to the client in what we do. This clearly is recognised with our 0 NCRs in the past 2 years from our third-party certifiers.
Collaborating for more satisfaction.
G'day, Jamie Egan. I'm part of the National Quality Team. Currently out here assisting the Brumby Outer Ring Road project in Western Australia with their materials and compliance of. That is one of my key functions, is to support tenders and delivery with high-risk items through sourcing, processing, placement and compliance of, and working closely with those teams, having open discussions with those teams, mentoring them through these issues that gives them confidence in delivery.
Charlie Versey, judge of the Quality Team of the Year category, said, "The team's aspirations are admirable. They have articulated that they want to change the perception of quality in the industry they work in, and not just within their organisation. Improvement, trying a different sustainable quality approach."
Removing silos and restructuring to form one team during our integration phase was an opportunity to rethink how and why. Critical to this success was a high level of communication, respect for each other, and the removal of hierarchical structure in order to navigate challenges in front of us. We questioned the regional structure that was standard practice within our industry and asked the question if this was how we wanted to define ourselves. Specialised support functions like safety and environment are legislated regionally within Australia, and it makes sense to geographically assign resources to align with this. Quality, however, is not structured in this manner. It's more overarching. But due to reporting lines, and despite these differences, all specialised support functions are historically structured regionally within Australia. So understanding this why and being provided with the freedom to move away from a restrictive structure has allowed us to collaborate to ensure personal satisfaction. It ensured that each of us has roles that utilised our specific skills, our interests, and also our business needs, rather than each of us needing to look after everything for a geographical region. Change is hard, particularly when that change throws out the rulebook. Historically, our industry are poor learners and they're very resistant to change. For our internal stakeholders, the question was always, who do I call if I need something? There was a real difficulty in understanding that there was no longer one person. So this piece of cultural change took time. There was a reiteration that rather than having access to one person with one skill set, they now had access to multiple people, each with their own unique and diverse skill sets. So with a way of working that was entirely different to our industry norm, we were really cognizant that we needed a mechanism to depict how we worked as a team. Not only to communicate to our internal stakeholders, but also to those new team members that would join us to allow us to scale up our operations. So this saw the development of the biome. It shows our different approach to governance and assurance. The biome details our activities that we undertake, and then within each of these activities, partners are assigned roles. This connects the network, as there's always more than one person in each activity. And it's this connection that enables the conversation and collaboration to flow. It's not restricted by the need to have official meetings. It moves organically and it grows and reduces as required. It ensures that there is a path for information flow from everyone to everyone. Trying a different sustainable quality approach has allowed for robust discussion. It's removed conflict, it's respectful, and it's a work environment that is lean, efficient, and enjoyable.
Evaluating to advance industry quality practice.
These words all sound great, but how does it work in reality? How does the information move from person to person? So the following is an example, and each part is spoken by a person who has information on that topic from their role within that specific activity. The person is linked to the person speaking both before and after them through the roles, which are allowing the information to flow through activities.
Let's use non-conformance as an example, based on facilitating greater analysis to reduce waste, provide lean solutions, and increase productivity. To achieve this, we require our systems, our processes, and our people to work together in a continual improvement cycle. Andrew, how can we design our NCR on I2CX to collect the data Belinda needs to report for Steve to investigate for fall prevention?
So I2CX is naturally our digital system for all things quality control and quality assurance, including NCRs. Having built the system ourselves, we made sure that the key metrics we wanted to analyse in our NCRs, things such as product type, for example, is it a piling or an earthworks NCR, or root cause classification, a process not followed, damage to completed works, We made sure that these were mandated on the NCR form, so the delivery engineers are required to input this information. Thus, the NCR form forms the key element of this broad non-conformance database across all our projects, which we can then analyse with confidence.
Having that consistent and clean data set makes the development and generation of our ongoing automated reports very, very easy. We use an API to extract our data from I2CX, limiting some human error, and we're able to obtain information like we haven't been able to before. So we take these reports and we issue them to our stakeholders, so including our senior managers on our project, our top management, and also us. And we make sure that these align with our targets and objectives. So for NCRs, this information is automatically issued to Steve and the team that works within this activity.
So the automated NCR reporting then notifies myself and Jamie of how we're tracking. So we then look at the reporting and the data to understand exactly what's happening at those projects. So we use the data to correct the individual issues, but we can also look at the big picture analysis. Example of this is the NCRs associated with the rework of the flexible pavement layers due to failed compaction results and unsuitable material. The NCR reporting clearly showed that it was by far our major issue and our highest cost. So we now use our technical expertise and our knowledge at the project startup. The project then engages Jamie and myself to identify all the appropriate material suppliers. We set up our intelligent compaction to make sure we achieve the compaction correctly. And these two combined dramatically reduce our biggest risk, which in turn aligns us to achieving our targets and objectives.
So if we're looking at our tendering processes, bringing things full circle, we can then use our experience with using these new technologies to include them in future tenders, which has multiple benefits, including demonstrating our reputation of being at the forefront of the industry, reduce costs, and just decrease wastage, which is the key hallmark of a more sustainable and viable business.
We then use this information to inform the changes back to our corporate risk register for the wider business, which then influences our processes back on our future projects.
Information then goes to multiple places after that. If we look at the information that's generated from the Power BI reports and the NCR analysis, we can use that information as part of our yearly management reviews as part of the continual improvement cycle. It also impacts other activities within our biome, such as auditing, management system review, lessons learned, training, knowledge transfer, all of which are linked through our roles within the biome.
And all of this feeds back into our targets and objectives as we learn and evolve. What we do appreciate in this example is by understanding and evaluating all parts and the dependencies in the process, that we can provide a holistic system with a continual improvement cycle. This realisation, supported by communication that is collaborative and engaging, has opened our minds to advance our practices through our partnerships to influence our industry.
David Anderson, head judge of the Quality Team of the Year category, said, "The interaction, support, recognition and respect for each member of the team, including those that weren't present, really came across in the interview." Leadership, united to create a shared sustainable cause.
So our team provides leadership with respect to the quality professionals working on all our projects. I think we have a great connection and communication with this level of our business, as illustrated through our biome. This was a deliberate strategy. To focus on our projects, we wanted to be very proactive and helpful when building bonds with our people, as we see them as our most important and influential asset. We focus on our people. We needed to develop who we are. We do welcome emails and Teams meetings, small group chats. We acknowledge work anniversaries with handwritten cards and also with more formal sessions. This is all independent of what our wider business does. A key event in our 2022 calendar was the Quality Symposium, which was held in Brisbane, and information of which was provided in our submission. It's all about creating a sense of belonging, one team, one purpose, and we need our staff to buy into this. This is just a few examples of the many ways in which we're guiding and leading the way within our business.
Greater awareness for more ownership.
As quality professionals, we're challenged by the many competing interests of others. How can we get people to think like we think about quality or care enough? We've invested our careers tackling this, and with our team and approach, we're making a quality difference, not only in our organisation, but to our clients, industry partners and competitors. We've been purposeful in our objectives and strategies to achieve this, whether it's our considered communication to feel part of something special or that you belong, or being inspired to improve and own our ways of working. By increasing the awareness of quality, more people understand and get on board. We've worked hard to promote what we do. We've had our tough audiences with different agendas, but we've been persistent and we've learnt and adapted along the way. Our redefining quality message has made people stop and think differently about quality. It structures a conversation. What does quality mean to you? And it means something different to everyone. However, what we do have in common is a desire to make a difference. Our opportunity is to make this award bigger than us and how quality is perceived in ACCIONA and our industry within Australia and New Zealand. It will be spoken about in Spain and globally all the other countries that we work in, redefining our quality and our industry reputation. Our story is not complete. We continue to work on our leadership, governance, assurance and improvement, and we do this knowing that collectively we have such an important story to tell.
Charlie Versey, judge of the Quality Team of the Year category, said the standout was that the ACCIONA team focused very much on the culture and identity of the team, and as a collective they have been able to make a significant impact on projects and the organisation.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of this year's Quality Team of the Year, ACCIONA.
The team, all of our people on our projects have made a real difference, and I think this for us, is going to look to achieve our purpose, is making quality, really up there and being a key focus for what we do.